Maybe the best podcast.
Maybe the best podcast. Maybe the best podcast. Yo, we taking off. We taking off.
That's the one.
Oh, man.
Maybe the best podcast.
Yo, welcome to Maybe the Best Podcast, episode
13
13 of
13,
season 2.
13, episode 13.
I am Vern Diddy, a.k.a. the Hot Dad, alongside my partners, my family, my compadres. Welcome back, Miss Lulu.
Hi. I'm tired. I'm going to try and keep it up, the energy.
Hey, man, we're going to get in and get the fuck up out of here.
Yo, man, listen, what's cracking out there, man? You know, Twan, these dudes, I'm already sweating from this pre-show debate y'all got me out here having. But as always, real quick, before we get into everything, shout out to the YouTube subscribers out there for always rocking with us, SoundCloud listeners, and as always, the Facebook Live.
Yes.
For keeping it live.
For sure.
So,
how was the week?
Quick.
Not quick enough. I feel like it went by so slow.
It seemed like I was just here last week.
No, you were here last week.
I know, but I'm talking about all right.
All right, look. So it's been a good week. But
Chris, your ass should be here.
We have been missing the consistency in the show for various reasons, so we need to just jump right into it this week. Maybe the best of the week. Who want to kick it off?
Man, listen, there is no maybe best of the week outside of Kanye's. You know what? Okay, my maybe best of the week. My maybe best.
You just
of the
said
week.
there was no maybe
Okay,
best.
I lied because I lied. I just thought of one.
Okay.
My maybe best of the week is a Netflix movie that I think you guys all should watch because it led me to even go and research what I'm searching for my own personal spirituality even deeper. It's called Come Sunday.
Come Sunday. You mentioned that to me, man. So
Super dope.
yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, explain to the people what it's about.
In layman's terms, it's about this pastor, true life story, Pastor Carlton Pearson, who basically graduated from Earl Roberts. Earl Roberts was his actual mentor. So he built this church in Tulsa, Oklahoma, all the way up to 5,000 members weekly, 60,000 a week. But one day, man, he was watching the genocide that was going on in Rwanda, and he had his newborn baby, and he just said he just broke to his knees and started crying and praying, and he asked God, like, man, are all these people going to hell because they don't know Jesus or whatnot? And he said God told him nah. And from then on, he started preaching this inclusion, which basically is hell's not real as we know it. And from there, it just goes, man. So it's really deep, really dope. It actually had me go look him up on YouTube, and his level of consciousness now, because it's really based on him in the very, very beginning of it. But now, it's cold, brother.
That's what's up,
Cold, brother, man. Cold, brother. So, yeah, go check it out. Come Sunday, Netflix.
You got a maybe the best of the week?
I'm done with school for the
Yeah.
semester. For the semester.
That's what's up. I'm gonna go with my favorite rapper of the moment. He's always been in my top 5, or has been in my top 5 for the last 10 years or so.
Go ahead with it.
Mr. Ryan Montgomery dropped a record called Caterpillar today and then tomorrow morning. So by the time y'all get this, Book of Ryan will be out. I've already said that it will probably be the best rap album of the year. But Caterpillar, the video with Eminem, dropped today. Royce bodies it. Eminem gets him the fuck up out of there. So I was happy to see M actually back on some rap shit and getting it done. And Royce brings the best out of M. So shout out to Caterpillar.
So this is a collab album between Royce and him?
No, this is Royce's album, and it's basically what he calls his blueprint. Like not blueprint, but his Reasonable Doubt, where Jay said it took him 25 years to put that album together. Book of Ryan is Royce's autobiography. This is all his life's efforts put into the album. So this should be his magnum opus. So
Okay.
looking forward to it.
Shout out to Royce fans.
Yeah, and I mean, shit, Bar Exam 4 was fucking stupid. So, like, if that's any indication of what we about to get, just a more polished, more trust the shooter, more layers type of music, shit. Fuck the rap game. It's a rap.
Okay. Y'all heard it first.
Y'all heard it first. So that's maybe the best of the week. So
Keep you posting on that game in there.
yeah, so I don't know what's happening over here. Okay, we good over here. What are we talking about this
Man,
week?
you know what we talking about. Free thought.
Free thought?
You know what I want to talk about? obviously,
There's so many layers to this. This is an onion. This is an
super,
onion.
right? So,
What do you mean by onion? Ogres are like onions.
So many layers.
Ogres have layers.
guys, man, you guys.
It's a reference from Shrek.
Yeah, I know. Gosh.
Who the hell doesn't like
I
parfait?
wake up- and I blame you.
Okay.
I blame you for fucking up my Saturday morning in a
Okay.
good way.
Okay.
So, you know, I look at this notification from my brother here, and I see Ye versus the people. So I'm driving at this time. I'm driving,
Yes, Lord.
and
Which I refuse to hear.
put on the record. At this time, it's unedited and no starring, nothing. I put it on, and it comes on so hard. So I'm like, okay, boom, Ye come on with a Ye. I'm like, oh. I hear this very distinctive voice that I have heard since 2001. Okay? It's a very demanding, okay, very stern, very present voice. It was the captain, the king, T.I. And I am not going to lie to you.
It's the king,
remember,
bitch.
And my girl can attest to this. I remember yelling in the car. Anybody know me, No Tip is one of my favorite people, and it gave me goosebumps. So I guess first, let's get into the actual track. Obviously, we got to talk about the conversation. I knew off rip, just knowing T.I. and knowing T.I. in the sense of studying him as a fan.
Right.
Studying T.I. as a fan and his personality, I knew there was a conversation that was had. I just knew it off rip. I'm like, this was a conversation. So eventually it comes out that it was a conversation. So let's get
Shout
into
out to Elliot Wilson. For
Elliot
recording
Wilson,
that.
yeah, shout out. Let's get into, you said you haven't heard it, Lulu.
No.
Why do you refuse to listen to it?
Are we going to talk about Kanye later? Or we're just...
Yes.
Okay. Well, you'll get into that.
Oh, shit. So let's just speak about the dialogue on the record. It was a T.I. versus T.I.P. type of idea.
Yes.
How do you feel about how Tip came at Ye and what he was challenging him with?
Because like you, one, I got on the blog sites and I saw people saying, you know, thank you, T.I. Thank you for talking that shit. Thank you for schooling Kanye. Thank you for, giving him a history lesson and educating him and questioning him on his own record. As if that's not I don't know if there's a new way of making records and shit, but as an artist, we know how shit is supposed to work. So if you ever hear that type of record, just know that we had a conversation and we arranged this shit together. Kanye was not caught off guard by what was happening. In fact,
It's the same shit they was talking about.
he orchestrated it. So with that being said, I love the record and I love T.I. representing the people. But I also love that Kanye's mind is there to have these types of conversation on record. And he picked the right fucking person to do it. Because the king is one of the kings of the people, especially the people of color. Like T.I. is one of us. One of the most beautiful things I love about him, and I had commented, and I knew I was going to catch some
You gotta
flack
use a
for
bigger
it.
word because we're talking about T.I. You gotta use
Yeah.
a bigger word.
No, I knew I was going to get, castrated publicly online for my comment, but I said that, T.I. is one of my idols, and I admire the man that he is. And the course is, you admire a man that cheats on his wife and leaves his wife? And the answer is yes, because he is a human
man.
being.
He's a man, yeah.
Not just that he's a man, but he's a human being. And T.I. has always been the type of person to own his mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not above making mistakes. I'm not perfect, and I don't want to use that as a crutch either. But here's a man that is, from what we can see, and it hasn't been disputed by his wife, is a great father. He's an outspoken person that challenges the system. He's done whatever he's done whatever necessary to take care of his family, whether it was selling, 20 dimes by dinner time, you know what I'm saying, to help pay rent when he was a kid. And to see the man that he's become from I'm Serious to now,
Right.
That is a different type of human being. But going back to I'm Serious, T.I. was always on this revolutionary shit. He's always been a different type of person. So I admire the man that he is today, and I really applaud him for who he's become, man. Like I'm so proud of that dude, man.
So let's get to not necessarily conversation. I was looking at the TMZ video. So I'm gonna throw this to Lulu. Obviously, and I started looking at the whole video from the 30-minute video. So far, the only fucked up thing that I hear, and I'm gonna get into my stance after you, is the slavery was a choice. So I want you to speak on that and your opinions about just this whole thing and yay.
Well,
Go Lulu, go Lulu.
so first
go.
off, when we say if slavery is a choice, then he's making a choice of being a house nigga because he is following behind master 100%. So for you to say that slavery was a choice is a slap in your ancestors' face. I don't know how it's a choice when lynching was there, being threatened, having your family taken away and sold. I don't know how that was a choice. There were people that, stood up against it and tried to succeed. Obviously they didn't, but that's why the slaves fought in the Civil War, in my opinion, and that's why they wanted to get it free.
They were also literally castrated.
Exactly. So I don't know how that's a choice. And to me, I feel like it's dangerous thinking for him to do this because, number one, he does have those diehard fans out there that will believe everything that Kanye says, number one. And number two, you have this kind of thinking out there and you have children. You have black children. Yes, they're black and they're white, but at the end of the day, you look at your kids.
Armenian. Black and Armenian.
Black and Armenian, whatever. They're white. But my thing is, okay, they're black and Armenian, but when you see those kids, do you say, oh, yeah, those are little black and Armenian babies? Or you'll be like, no, those are black kids. And I feel like...
he said that on the TMZ interview. He said that his daughter came home and said that. And he basically said that her innocence was taken away. Like, no matter what, you still black. You Kanye West child, but you still black.
And that's what I'm saying. You can't have that type of thinking having these mixed kids. And I feel like with mixed kids, including myself, there was an experience that we had that took away that innocence, that let us know that racism is real and let us know, damn, this is what I am and this is how people see me. So I just think that he needs to change his thinking. I think he needs to stop running behind these rich white millionaires because not everybody is a business owner. I'm not a business owner, so why should I support Donald Trump? I'm not a business owner. I'm never going to own a business, well, I don't think, but that can't be the only reason why you're supporting him because that's only for your interest and your benefit. That's not everybody's benefit. Don't tell me to support somebody because he's great for business owners. Well, that's great for you because you're selling those ugly-ass sneakers for $1,000 and people are buying them, and you're selling T-shirts with holes in them for $350. Are you shitting me right now? Your first T-shirt, I told this to VDB. I said Kanye came out with you remember the hip-hop tees? Where's the plain white V's and the plain black V's, and he sold those for $250 and they sold out. These are the type of people that follow Kanye. These are the type of people that they'll still defend him to this day. And I'm a diehard Kanye fan, but I'm not with the shits anymore with him. At the end of the day, you have to say enough is enough, and you can't support that. His next album, great. I'm not buying it. I'm not streaming it. I'm not doing any of that shit. I took off all his music from my library because he doesn't need it. He doesn't need. Now I'm not gonna burn his CDs because those are the first CDs that I bought with my first paycheck.
So do you love him? I'm a question that. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Rant over.
I guess.
From the TMZ,
we're gonna get to the live in a minute.
Office rants. I really do appreciate Kanye and everything that he has going on right now. And I'm only siding with him because I also watched the full hour and 50-minute interview with Charlemagne the God, which came out, which took place 2 weeks prior, right? So the train of thought there makes sense to why he came back and did the TMZ thing. But like I mentioned to my cousins earlier, I think Kanye is talking faster than he's thinking right now. He's tweeting faster than he's thinking right now.
It's diarrhea at the mouth.
Yeah, and when he made the comments about slavery being a choice at some point,
which he came back and I think he tried to clean up.
Yeah, after Van lit his ass up. Thank you, Van Lathan.
If nobody would have told Kanye anything, he would have still.
If Van wasn't there, I don't know if Kanye would be. I don't know if the conversation that we're having now, it might be a little different if Van wasn't there to correct his ass. Mm-hmm. And more than anything, that's what that TMZ moment has brought to life is that, we got to be bold enough to correct each other when we're wrong. Like if you gonna show your ass in front of these crackers, I'm gonna have to address you in front of these crackers. I'd rather not, but you cannot get in front of these crackers and say some offhanded shit like that. Even if you mean it, that's a conversation for us, bro. I don't want to question your thinking. Free thinking, go at it. I understand what you're leaning towards and what you're getting at, and I want to have those conversations. You know, we talk about depression. We've opened up this platform and we've talked about some shit that isn't normal for people of color, especially black men. So we're okay. I'm okay with where Kanye is trying to go, but certain things we just can't say.
I think he's very insecure.
No, he is, but we can't have those. The tweet that he sent out where he said, you know, after my daughter throws a temper tantrum, she comes back and says, you know, Daddy, I just want you to say I love you more. That wasn't a tweet about his daughter. That wasn't a tweet about North. That was a tweet about Kanye.
Yes.
Kanye goes on these rants so we can say, Kanye, I love you more. And after watching the Charlemagne
Van
interview,
displayed hate, Rashonda says.
Shit.
That was corrective action.
According to Kanye, he showed hate when he should have been operating from love and saying, you're right. It was a choice. But
He went over and hugged him, didn't he? He said, I'm sorry for hurting you.
He tried to.
Yeah.
Van wasn't having that shit today. That day. Damn, where was my train of thought? Okay, so when I talked about the temper tantrum, and I think did we do it on air, or were we having a off-air conversation where I was saying that Kanye?
I think it was on air.
Okay, because he wasn't mentioned regularly, routinely as one of the best in the era of Jay-Z, in the era of Eminem's, in the era of Wayne, because he wasn't thrust into the number one spot by the hip-hop heads. Like, he feels a way about that. He genuinely feels a way about that. And that's why he rants the way he does, because in his mind, he's one of the best. He is Picasso. He is the
Disney.
You know, yeah, Walt Disney. He is the Elon Musk of our era to him. But it's like, bro, that's to you. And you're supposed to feel that way, Kanye, because you are great at what you do. But you gotta, like, I can't say what you gotta do. Just do your thing. Well, just be conscious of how you put together things. You are an artist. We have a way of articulating things in a way that nobody else can. You gotta use that shit, brother. Like, you can't be out here just wilding the fuck out. In the same way you concentrate on writing these records and making sure they're cohesive, make sure your thoughts are cohesive before they come out of your fucking mouth. And that's it.
But how can they be cohesive when you're clearly insecure because you told everybody you got liposuction so they don't call you fat like Rob Kardashian, and you're acting like a bitch because your only reason for not liking Obama.
I got liposuction for y'all.
He
what?
said,
Nigga,
the only reason why I don't like Obama is because he called me a jackass. Okay, and at the time, you were acting like a jackass. There are worse things out there that people call you, but because Obama called you a jackass off camera.
But he also did say that
that's
Obama had my number. Obama could have reached out to me. And I'm not really mad. I feel a way about it. I'm entitled to feel a way about it. I don't hold a grudge against him. I just feel a way about it.
Okay.
Because during his campaign trail, he hit me up and said I was his favorite rapper, and he wanted me to help him on his campaign trail. Okay. And I did it. So to then sit down with me and my mama in my living room, ask me to do something for you, and then later on call me a jackass and not reach out to me. Instead of calling me a jackass in the public, you could have reached out to me. And in that sense, I'm like, Kanye, you're right.
Number one, that was supposed to be off camera, and number two, that's like
it was somebody was recording it.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be off camera, and number two,
but
Obama
knew it came out.
He should have.
I know,
reached
but
out.
you can't call out people when they're acting a certain way. Like if Antoine was acting a certain way, you wouldn't call him out.
He would just call me out and call me. In that defense, he would.
Well, he was acting like a jackass. At the end of the day, point blank, he was acting like a jackass. I really
but
don't
was
care.
he?
Yes.
Do you remember why Obama called him a jackass?
I'm pretty sure it was. I remember.
It was the Taylor Swift shit.
That's
exactly.
what it was.
So was Kanye West acting like a jackass, or was he at the time speaking for a lot of us who felt the exact same way?
Okay. So I'm gonna speak about
whatever
both of these things.
And okay, if we're going to talk about that, the whole full
talk to him, Lulu.
Why
Antoine.
No, I'm sorry.
No, Antoine.
Again,
go, Lulu, go.
Kanye acting like a bitch. Why are you on every campaign that you go on? Jay and Beyonce. They obviously want nothing to do with you.
That's not true.
They obviously want nothing to do with you. I'm sorry they didn't go to your wedding, but
did you watch the Charlemagne interview?
No, and I don't
You
want to.
really should.
Why? Is he going to
Because you're being I think you're
Am I gonna be
speaking
more
from an uninformed
sympathetic
place
to
like
him?
Kanye is.
Yeah,
Am I going to be more sympathetic?
Maybe.
Oh, Kanye, I feel so bad for you now.
maybe.
Please, keep talking your shit.
Nah,
But
I
It's
just think
acceptable.
I think he really is human though. He's a very flawed
Let
human,
me
but he
download
is
your
human.
music again.
You know what's so crazy? I'm gonna speak from the slavery standpoint first,
Let me go
and then
buy
I'm
your
gonna speak from the
shit.
other thing. The reason why I think what Kanye said is so dangerous, and even if he tried to clean it up,
It's very
is because
dangerous.
It's uninformed. I mean, you're talking about a guy that admitted that he's just started watching CNN. That when T.I. asked him, well, what do you feel about the travel ban? He said, what ban? Genuinely, not trolling, genuinely, okay? So when you do that, I think the number one thing that you do is you give them motherfuckers an out that they have been waiting for.
I'm not racist. I have a black friend.
You give them an out. They've been waiting in the woodworks for some prominent black dude to say, get over it, black people. Slavery is over.
But
Hold on.
lately he raps about white people, like in Cruel Summers, when he was talking about he had a Bentley, and then he compared it to the guy in the CIA, and then he referenced Bar Raffaelli and Giselle Bundchen. He has no black influences in his music now. Maybe
Now,
back
but
then.
and I'm a
It's a
you know what?
different
No,
Kanye.
I'm finna get on that.
All right.
So we gonna
Yes,
talk.
he
so,
does.
But hold up, I'm gonna get on that. I want to speak on this first, and then I'm gonna speak on everybody that's turning their back on Kanye. Boom! I just exploded. The motherfucker is going down. Listen,
I'm gonna need you to not peek.
sorry. So now, right, when you do that, you give them an out. You give them an excuse to not accept the fact that we're not talking about 400 years. See, that's another misconception. When you go from emancipation to Jim Crow laws to the Tuskegee experiment to the civil rights movement,
that shit.
black people have really only been free 50 some odd years. Let's keep it fucking real. From a true freedom standpoint, and even that,
I was gonna say I wouldn't even
Even
give you
that.
that because my
Even-
mom is 53.
there we
so
go.
no.
Even that, but I'm just talking about in the sense of niggas ain't walking up the street. Well, never mind with that either. But you know what I mean, in the ideology of things, in the totality of things.
On
You're
paper.
talking about, right.
On paper.
You're talking about 50 some odd years. We're not even including all the amendments and laws that keep one down as well. Okay? Things that he is uninformed of. So it creates this thing where smart, dumb people get on their social medias and try to explain something that motherfucker didn't even know he was talking about. And I've seen it and held my tongue for days in regards to people saying, oh, I can kind of see what Kanye talking about. That motherfucker didn't even see what he was talking about. Somebody had to call him and correct him, and that's why the next day he got on Twitter saying, well, what I really meant was this, that, and the third, and mental slavery and all of this other stuff. So that is out of the question. People shouldn't even spend too much time on it unless we're talking about uninformed opinions that are dangerous in the sense of I thought we was at least still trying to get our proper footing in this country. Am I right or wrong? Mm-hmm. Okay, is that still what we trying to do, or are we still trying to be like drink from the same water fountain type shit? Okay. Anyway,
I don't even know.
that was a trolling question.
I don't even know at this
Now,
point.
this is what I'm going to say in regards to the whole free thinking and how Kanye is acting and how this, that, and the third. You remember how I told you come Sunday? Mm-hmm. And the pastor got 5,000 people a week, 60 G's a year. And in 1 year, he lost this church because he finally said some shit that the motherfuckers wasn't agreeing with. Let me tell y'all something. Kanye has been doing this shit since 2002. Can you imagine a conservative white Christian that heard a black dude from Chicago with a song called Jesus Walks and he cussing in it, trying to put it on the radio? How dare he do that? That's blasphemy, is what I heard. Black people in the church as well. Kanye has always doubled down on the unpopular. The only issue is Kanye has said some shit that we don't fucking agree with and we don't fuck with. But Kanye has been saying uninformed things. You think he knows about Jesus? You think he know about scriptures? We still got Jesus Walk. He was uninformed back then. Kanye has always done things to You can say what you want to say. Kanye has always done things. Kanye has always done things to get a rouse out of folk. This is not a new thing. This is, when I'm looking at the TMZ interview, all I'm seeing is an older Kanye. Kanye ain't saying nothing fucking different other than make America great. What did he, that was the same thought process about putting Jesus on the radio.
I think the
Same thought process.
I think the difference is Donda.
And he, okay,
The
now
absence
let's
of
go,
Donda
now,
West.
but let's go back to that, right? Let's go back to that.
I don't think Jesus
We
Walks
can
is in
even-
the same breath because
okay.
Jesus Walks was a great record
then
and
I
it was
wanna
at,
speak-
it was
and
at the
then I wanna
right
speak-
time.
And then I want to speak in regards to what you say. Oh, he don't have any black influence. Kanye been speaking that. I'm Khan, the Louis Vuitton Don. That was his claim to fame for years. Like, he been spitting that old Richie. Kanye has been wanting to get where he wanted to get to. You ain't got the answer, Sway. That's his frustration of saying, I can't get where these white people can get because I ain't got what they got. That was his frustration. Kanye been selling us crazy for years. When I got off of Kanye is when Kanye stopped selling the ideas of Kanye and start selling the idea of Kanye. And all y'all been doing is buying into his crazy. Crazy, the only thing consistent about crazy is inconsistency. So how are you going to be upset when he does some shit along the lines of what he's always done? The only difference is some shit that we don't fuck with. He rocked a Make America Great Again hat. You know his thought process. You know how Kanye think. You know he gonna think that it's different when I wear it. You know he's going to think that. Why is that a surprise?
Yeah.
I mean, why is it?
Well, it's not a surprise, and you know what?
The only thing surprised me was slavery. That sounded like a choice. I was like, what the fuck? This nigga tripping.
Well,
Other than that, it sounded like the same nigga I've been hearing for 15 some odd years.
I don't think that this conversation is over, but we do have to take a break for a second.
Segment 2.
But we'll get right back to it. We love y'all. We'll be right back. Peace. Yeah.
Maybe the best podcast.
Hello and welcome back.
Jesus walks with him.
We are back for segment 2 of Maybe the Best.
Segment 2.
Season 2, episode 13.
Jared Team.
Talking about Coon-ye.
So,
Kanye.
Now, but hold up though.
Sorry.
So now I want to finish my dissertation.
Kanye,
I want to
I'm
close
so
my
sorry.
dissertation with this. The reason why I say people are turning their back on Kanye is because you can't love crazy and not expect something that you may not like come out of it. So we cannot say, I love Kanye, but I'm not going to stream his music. If you love that man, you love that man unconditionally through right or wrong. Hold on, no. If Vern do some fuck shit, I may ride with him
And
in public.
I do fuck shit.
I may ride with him in public, but goddamn, when we on the way home, I'm saying, you know, that was some real live fuck shit that you done did, bro. And you put me in that fucked up situation, and I swear to God, next time you put me in that, but I ain't never.
I don't do that fuck shit. I don't do
Yeah,
that
but I've
fuck
never
shit.
had to do that. But what I'm saying is, I can't be like, yo, listen, Vern is on a wave. He's on a wave. The same thing that I say, and this is why I say you guys got to see Come Sunday, because the same thing that happened to Carlton Pearson, he was still new to his thought process. Whatever he's feeling as far as this free thinking thing, the patience that you had with him when he started wearing skinny jeans, the patience that you had with him when he was selling that ugly ass homeless looking material and them ugly ass Yeezys, the patience that you had with him when all he does, when he want to just rap one bar and the rest of it just be drums and loops and tell you that that's, oh my God, that's a genius arrangement and a genius scheme and Yeezus is one of the greatest in his catalog and oh my gosh, that motherfucker done sold y'all on crazy since 808 and Heartbreaks. And we excused it because God bless him dead, his mama passed away and we understood it and we allowed him to vent. But what we have allowed Kanye to do, and I don't know why we're challenging him now, what we have allowed Kanye to do is throw a temper tantrum to the point where now it's like, oh, nigga, you out of control. That Taylor Swift was a temper tantrum. He should have been checked. And you know what? He risked his image. He risked the point of his career at the time for a nigga that now don't even fuck with him. Let's keep it funky.
That's not true either, but
No, bro. I don't want to hear it. Let's keep it funky, because like he said, if we call each other brothers.
I like how you say let's keep it funky, but really what you mean is let's keep my perspective as the only one that makes sense.
Okay, well, right now, and when you get to Florida, your perspective will make sense. But what I'm saying is, if we call each other brothers, then what I said on stage counts. But if we're business partners, then my bad, bro. It makes sense why you didn't come to my wedding. My fault. And guess what? I'll take back taking up for your wife in front of a person that was their moment and their time to shine, which number one, by the way, she doubled back on him. So what I'm saying is in the aspect of Kanye has always been a guy trying to fit into anything and trying to have you fit his thoughts. And I don't understand how people are confused right now. And the only reason we're confused because we don't fuck with Trump. But you know why? When we started not fucking with Trump? Primaries. Because if you Google hip-hop lyrics with Donald Trump.
Also doesn't count.
What did Kanye say? Hip-hop loves Trump.
Right.
I'm not justifying.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
But just like the
niggas
white guy in TMZ said, it's not that black people fuck with, or rappers fuck with Trump.
Chris. Here come Chris.
Trump's name was synonymous with power and wealth. That was the bar.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I want to fuck with Donald Trump because he's a cool ass person.
Let me ask you a question.
It's Trump towers, Trump billions, Trump
And you
this.
don't think power and wealth come with the
I get
privilege
that.
of grabbing them by the pussy?
No.
You don't think that's to come with that?
That's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. First off, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna answer all your questions.
Go ahead.
That wasn't questions.
Chris,
You want this? You want this first?
I was gonna say.
Go ahead, give me this work.
I was gonna
They about
say,
to give me this work.
You can love somebody, but you don't have to like their actions.
Yeah, but
So I love Kanye, but I don't like his actions.
But you gotta
And he's
love him
trying
enough to
fit in.
understand
Let me
him.
tell you something. He's trying to fit into a boys' club that he will never fit in. He can
What
make
boys?
that-
All he said is I love
No.
Trump. He didn't say
This
I
is
like
the
his
thing.
ideologies.
This is the thing. He can make the same amount of money as a white man. Let's say Trump. He can make the same amount of money. They seem to make the same amount of money every single year. But at the end of the day, he will never be their equal. So he's trying so hard to fit into a club where they will never see him as equal.
But that's not what Kanye's saying. Kanye's saying, he said, and just like he told T.I., he said, well, what about you wanting me to take off the hat and them wanting me to take off the hat? Bring y'all together.
This is the
That's his
same
thought
guy.
process.
This is the same guy that had a denim jacket with the Confederate flag on the back of it and said, I'm taking this flag back. We're taking this flag back for us. I don't want that shit. You can have that all to yourself because that flag will always mean hate, no matter if you take it back or not.
Right,
Yeah,
but
you gotta, how can
hang
you
on.
Go ahead. This is y'all. Go ahead. I have my dissertation.
Part of that, a lot of what you said is accurate, but when it comes to those things where Kanye is trying to push the envelope and saying, I'm taking this back, how can we embrace saying, well, we took back the word nigga, but we can't say we taking back this? Even Charlemagne, who's somebody that I like, Twan doesn't necessarily agree with his views or how he goes about his interviewing, his approach, right? Even he said, and T.I. agreed with him, like, yeah, it's just certain things you can't take back. No, either you can take things back or you can't. Nigga, just like the Confederate flag, just like, this Make America Great Again, was to cater to a group of people over here and to discourage a group of people over here. So if you can take nigga back and we can use it as a term of endearment amongst each other, then why can't we take back another symbol that they use as powerful? And we again flex our muscle and say, we can do whatever the fuck we want to do, and we'll take it from you. And then we lessen the blow. We soften the blow from you, and we take your power back. But the problem is with that is that they'll just move on to the next thing. They'll move on to their new hate symbol.
Yes.
I mean, at one point, it was the cross. It was the cross at one point.
How can you be mad at a guy that made a song called You Can't Tell Me Nothing? This is a real thing.
Well,
like Kanye does not separate from music and person. His person is in his music. So when Kanye says, you can't tell me nothing, you have to reference that for life. In every action that he does, whether you like it or you don't like it, you have to reference certain things
but you
for life.
You also have to reference the line that he said before, so you know that it's not all power. It's wait till I get my money right. Then you can't tell me nothing.
And that's exactly what's going on.
But then he finished with a question, right? Then you can't tell me nothing, right?
That's a rhetorical question.
No,
That's
it was
rhetorical.
no, it was a search for validation. It was like, can I really do this? I'ma do it.
That was rhetorical.
But
This is the same guy that went to sleep, had a dream, he woke up in heaven, but instead he woke up and bought a necklace.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because heaven ain't real. So it's not. Yo, first off, how you gonna sell me a book that
Kanye,
literally
let's-
says
okay, Kanye,
that
Kanye,
literally
Kanye.
tells me that when I die, Not
This is why you need to watch the movie.
no,
Stop.
fuck.
This is
No,
why
I'm not.
telling
I'm not
you, bro,
stopping. The
you're
book.
gonna love
The book
Carlton
says
Pearson.
what the book says. I can
You're gonna
still
love
check them
Carlton
out.
Pearson. You're gonna love
I can still check them out. But the book says that in heaven there are streets of gold and mansions. So you make this promise to a group of people and say, when you die, you can have this. Well, you can't tease anybody. Like your girl say, hey, just put the tip in, and then she don't let you get it no more. You gonna be craving the pussy. So if she don't give it to you, you probably gonna go get the pussy from somebody else. That's just how the world works. That's how humans work.
So this analogy
First off,
means-
God, real quick, all you Christians and you believers in God, and you too, Chris, who just we had this conversation. We just had this conversation.
The same thing.
Okay? And the reason why you guys see a difference in me, and you can go on my Facebook page and read scriptures from just 2 years ago.
So what? Like, what
So-
the fuck does that mean?
No, because people be like, yo, but you was just on some shit
So?
a couple years ago. The reason why I know God isn't real the way we were told he's real, because if this guy's the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end, the knower of all things, created a creation, knowing the ending, knowing the end result, created something and was like, yo, I'm gonna make man in my image. And I know that they're gonna fuck up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drown all of them and I'm gonna start over again. And this time they're gonna be even more fucked up. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send my son into the human form to die for them, to redeem them so they can continue to do fucked up things and come back and see me later. What? That is some stupid shit, bro. Like, if you're a perfect being and you can create all the things, why would you create for yourself a fucked up situation that have to redeem? That's just stupid. Even
Who's to say that we're his first creation?
Yeah.
we're not.
It's
Obviously,
tested
dinosaurs
life.
were millions of years before we were.
I'm
It's
talking
tests.
about.
It's
Well, I'm
different
talking
tests.
about
No,
in this
Giving
form.
you
first
different
off,
tests.
first
You could
off,
be the
God,
fifth, third, fourth, fifth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
humans
Listen,
are.
whether you believe in God or not, I would rather
and we could
live
be the failed
believing
project.
in Him
He could
than
have created
dying
5 motherfucking projects
and saying, "Oh,
and
you
we the
don't
fucked up one.
exist," and He really.
You know what
does.
Kanye would tell you right now?
Well, what
You're-
was
me and
Kanye?
my
What
girls
would
getting-
Kanye say?
You
God.
are living in fear. The belief that if I'd rather believe in God than to die not believing in God and be wrong. That is a fear
You
tactic.
damn right. The two things that I'm scared of is God and my daddy.
So you gotta watch the movie come Sunday too.
I'ma tell
And
you-
you gotta study Carlton Pearson.
I'm gonna tell you what Royce
Oh
the
my
5'9"
God.
said. I'm gonna be referencing Royce the 5'9". He said, "My daddy kicked me down the stairs of the basement and
Let's
said,
go to the live real quick.
only person you need to answer is your daddy and the man upstairs." Because his daddy
Say you don't
just
believe in the
kicked his
Bible,
ass
but you
down the
believe in
basement.
Oh
slavery.
my God.
So wait. Let's go real quick to the live.
And then I'm
the
gonna
live
finish,
is popping.
And then I'm gonna finish on this Kanye West shit. But go
Okay.
ahead with
Matter of
the,
fact, okay, we'll finish on the Kanye, then we're gonna go to the live.
I know,
'cause,
right?
No, let me get the question before-
Okay,
before I
Rashonda
move.
says you don't believe in the Bible, but you believe slavery.
I don't believe in God the way he was presented to us. Okay? And the reason I don't believe the Bible, and you know, somebody at work
This is
loves
somebody that doesn't. He know his word now.
loves to hit me with the, you know, it's tested, it can be proven. History has been written, and we can go back and we can validate a lot of these things. Again, if I write a book today and I pass it down to my son and he passes it down to his son and he passes it down to his son, and I put everything in place so where it measures up, it will measure up. Jesus is a repeated story. It's not even an original story. Like, I mean, goodness gracious, Egyptians had a very similar story before that. Ra, the sun god, had a son from a virgin wife.
Only begotten son. They
Like,
was
come
praising
on
the
now.
son. The son
Like,
gives
this
life.
is nothing new. But the only reason I don't
They gonna
believe-
cut our live off, goddamn. They gonna cut our live off, goddamn.
if we are made in God's perfect image, but he made us so fucking flawed, that tells me that he's a fucking flawed individual. Also, there's science.
How
that's-
is whoa?
No, hang on.
How is slavery taught? You got to break that one down.
Yeah, you break that down. Also, we know through anatomy
You don't know one slave.
that community is the most important thing. Community is the most important thing, and I think that
My great-grandmother.
life was designed for community. People make things happen when there's community. In order to create life, there has to be at least two, a form of community, a man and a woman together, combined to make a child, right? That's the way life is presented. God cannot have been by himself and then created two individuals to do something completely different. Now, if you said that the Big Bang Theory was the origins of things, and then there was this energy that came from it,
See what
and
Kanye
said,
got
I
us
would
talking
like
about?
to see what existence would be like in a different way, cool. But that God would create us in his own image, but then not have a wife or a husband, because God could be a woman, right? I believe that more than likely God is a woman. But to create a completely different design than from himself, but then say it's from him, and then just the arrogance of man over the course of history to make us believe that God is even a man. Like we know the history of man to know that men have always taken the route of trying to steal the glory for every fucking thing, especially the Caucasian man. So I'm believing that, when we know religion is one of the biggest set of handcuffs ever. You want to get people in control? Tell them what God gonna do to them when they die. So they'll act right today.
Sound like, man, I'm telling you,
come on,
this shit
don't make sense, bruh.
You know what else should be in the Bible? Kanye, because he said that a couple years ago that if we rewrote the Bible, we put him back in there. So back to Kanye. All right. Let's just end the circle. So
all right. So the thoughts that he's always been crazy. Like he said, I think he would like to he would like to kill the what's the term I'm looking for? The stigma that comes along with the term crazy. I'm okay with that.
He's been that.
But if you want to kill the stigma.
Tolerable.
No, it was just something you agreed with, Lulu.
Hang on.
That's all it was. It was something you agreed with.
Yeah, if we're going to kill the stigma of what it means to be crazy versus genius, they say it's a fine line between being genius and being crazy. If we're going to kill the stigma that comes with being crazy, you have to get the appropriate help. Making statements like, I don't do therapy, people are my therapy, everybody is my therapist. Like, cancel that shit, yay. That train of thought is reckless. You know what I mean?
So who should he get therapy from then?
Go sit with someone that...
Who would he go sit with?
Twan.
We're talking about a guy.
But we need consistency. Like you said, the only
thing consistent about crazy is inconsistent.
So,
you got to accept it.
But here's what you cannot do. From somebody that is going to counseling, Twan, prior to that, I used my friends as counseling. The problem with that is you being my friend, when something went wrong, you side with me. Even if you correct me, you be like, Vern, what you did was fucked up, but you a real nigga, my nigga, so, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't never known a nigga do nothing wrong. I'm just keeping it real.
Saying, but fuck
that shit. It ain't my dog fault.
But
no, you're right.
But what the psychiatrist was able to do, instead of just saying, you know what I'm saying, you ain't wrong, my nigga, she said, well, all right, throw everything on the table.
And let me suck your dick.
No. Put everything out there on the table and only take back what you're willing to hang on to.
Okay.
So when you see everything that's left, you're like, oh shit, man. I was an enabler. I shouldn't have done this. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have done this, and I shouldn't have done this. You know what I mean? And when you consistently see the same person, you can get all of your issues out, right? Mm-hmm. But if Kanye's not going to not one person, or you're going to your wife, who is going to side with you, but has also does things that I don't agree with, and it doesn't matter what I fucking agree with. Free thought, free life, live your life. Your life is your life. I have nothing to do with that. But your claim to fame was exposing a private moment. And since then, you haven't had a private moment. Everything has been aired on television for profit. So I can't trust that type of person to steer me in the right direction when what I need, because Kanye is not a Kardashian at the end of the day. Kanye doesn't need to air his shit out publicly. Kanye needs to be hugged in private. Jay, I know you watching this podcast because... No, because we're going to manifest this shit. This one you're going to see, okay? The energies, the waves are right. Sean, you got to call this man. You got to call him and say, yo, I do love you. We need to fix this shit. Instead of you going to Elliot Wilson and saying, that's my brother, at some point we'll talk. And instead of Kanye going to Charlamagne and say, that's my brother, at some point we'll talk. Fucking talk. It's a fucking phone call.
Why? Let me ask you.
It's a visit, my nigga. Come holla at me.
Why would Kanye need help if this is Kanye acting like Kanye?
Because it's not Kanye acting like Kanye.
Because that's what everybody's saying. Kanye that's what he's saying.
But we can't just accept that a person is fucked up.
We've been accepting it.
No.
He's been fucked up.
Yeah, but now it's reached the pinnacle where
you think that 808 and Heartbreaks was artistry? That shit was crazy as fuck.
It was beautiful.
He sold it to...
I love that album.
808 is a great album.
I love that
what
album.
I've been talking about all night is displayed right here. Kanye's success of selling crazy right here. Okay? Hey, 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 because he was hurt. But we should have reached out.
It's a great album.
We should have
It
reached
is.
out to him then. I understand that. It's a great arranged album that if a Andre 3000 or somebody with better vocals, it's a top 100 album of all time. Let's just understand that. But
It
we
still
cannot
is a top 100
excuse-
album of all
but
time.
Hold
Thank you.
on.
According to Rolling Stones.
Thank
Okay,
you.
fair enough. But you know, Rolling Stone buys into the crazy too. That's why they put him on Rolling Stone with the Jesus joint. You don't think that was on purpose? This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. He been doing this. Listen, okay. So it's two things I want to touch on that what you were speaking on. Damn it, I lost my train of thought. One was
Sean Corey Carter. Call
yes,
that man.
One was that Hove came into the game
100 grand strong.
With
9
a
to be
man.
exact. From grinding G-Packs.
with a man, okay, with a man that it was just them two side by side, okay, and he didn't pick up no damn phone,
You're straight.
okay. He ain't pick up the phone for Dame. What make you think he gonna pick up the phone for Ye? Him and Ye friendship was cultivated.
What you mean he didn't pick up the phone for Dame?
Wait,
When Aaliyah died.
I could argue.
Jay
this.
was
I'm talking
Jay was
about
in the
when
room with him
Dame
sleeping on the
and
fucking
Hove-
floor.
When Dame and Hove, when that Rockefeller shit split, okay.
That was business. That's different.
Okay, fair enough, but how do you go that long? If it's just business, how do you go that long with not just being seen with a pic and 13 years of not
'Cause,
seeing each other and
Like,
shaking
but
hands and not talking?
it's super
Stop.
convenient.
What I'm
It's,
saying
no, it's
is-
convenient for you to put that on Jay when you know
Hold
that
on, I'm
Dame is
coming back.
stubborn.
I'm coming back to it. How can you put the responsibility on a man to pick up a phone when he don't pick up the phone for people that he done came in the game with? Their friendship was cultivated, and I'm gonna tell you the mistake in Kanye, and it's really not his fault. Their friendship was cultivated on business, on the result of Kanye doing something that people told him he couldn't do, including Rockefeller. And you hear what Jay-Z says about Kanye in the Black Album, in the DVD. The friendship was cultivated by Jay-Z's intrigue of Kanye and how he made it based on his thought process. That's what happened until you were no longer intrigued by his thought process.
You know
Like,
why?
what
Because
do
he
you
has
think is
he has
going
a
to
child
happen?
now. You are entitled
what do
to
you
think
think
how
is
you
going
think.
to
But if it's
happen?
going to poison
But I
my
don't-
child, I don't want you
So
around.
it's
I'm not gonna
okay
pick.
to not fuck with him now. Oh, I'm cool until I have a baby, then I can't fuck with you.
Yes,
Kanye.
But I
because
don't
when
think
you
that's
have
the
a
issue.
kid,
Do
your
that.
whole entire
Twan.
thinking changes.
Hang on.
I know that.
You
Hang
can't
on,
think
though.
I
about
don't
you
still
anymore.
not fuck with Jeff. And
Here's the
him.
thing. Here's
Come
the
on,
thing.
man.
Here's the thing, Twan.
You are not gonna talk
I don't
like
know
that
if you
around
recall.
my kid.
I don't know if
I'm
you
not gonna
recall.
pick up
At
the
one
phone.
point, Jeff
Kids don't know each other.
Jeff and my wife had some issues. I couldn't talk to Jeff. There's not a conversation we can have. That's my wife. You don't get to disrespect my wife, bro. You can't act like that. You've acted like that with me my whole life, and I never liked it. But you my guy, so I let it ride. When it comes to my wife, someone who doesn't have that relationship with you, you can't do that.
It's our fault.
Wait.
Y'all should have been called out that nigga.
So with Jay,
I've been called out Kanye.
So with Jay, you know what I mean? Like Kanye even touched on. Well, obviously they was dealing with their own shit. They had to create the Lemonade issue to create the Lemonade album. They were going through that shit at the same time when Kanye was having a meltdown. I'm sorry, but the priorities of me are my house first. I'm taking care of my house. I can't answer your call, Ye. My wife is about to leave me.
So don't tell me that Jay should pick up the phone.
I'm not saying, but right now I'm saying, okay,
Why?
Once your situation soothes out, if you keep saying,
Why?
because what you can't do,
Hov has never shown
here's
loyalty
why,
to
Twan.
anybody except Tata.
Tata,
and
Emery, Biggs.
Biggs made his man. Come on, man. Biggs made his way.
Basically, he hasn't shown loyalty to Dame. That's the only person he hasn't shown loyalty to. That's the only person you got.
Where's the Young Gunners?
That's not his people. That's state property.
Where's
Beans people. Them Beans people. Y'all came together as a collective.
All I'm saying is,
you wasn't
Hov
my.
ain't never been the guy where you be like, yo, man, that's a stand-up guy for his partner. So
Everybody else
this
says
is
it.
But this is not a surprise to me to
What
put
I'm
the
saying-
onus on Hov.
No. What I'm saying, I'm not putting the onus on Hov. What I'm saying
It's
is
Kanye's fault
stop.
for thinking he had a friend.
No, stop going out. Don't
He
sit.
did have a friend
Don't
till
sit
he
with
opened
Elliot
his
Wilson.
mouth.
No, don't sit with Elliot Wilson. Don't sit with David Letterman. Don't sit with everybody who's willing to talk to you about it and say, "We'll have a conversation." Just have the conversation. We don't need to hear it publicly anymore, Hov. We don't need to hear it publicly anymore, Kanye, about how you feel about Jay not reaching out to you. Did you call him? Phones work two ways. When niggas be like, yo, Vern, nigga, you don't never hit nobody up. All right, cool, but nigga, my phone ain't blowing up. And I'm not getting any texts either. So I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. My nigga, like, if you want to reach out to me, everybody know how to get at me. You know what I'm saying? Chris, when me and Chris had a little spat, you know what I'm saying, we was able to resolve that situation. But Chris has always known how to reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? His issue with me was about somebody else that wouldn't take that route to reach out to me. But everybody knows how to reach me. Like, you know, if I ain't picking up the phone, Twan, what you got to do? You know, Nick, Burn going to be 3 places. Work, gym, home. That's where he going to be at. Y'all know how to find me.
Hove loyal to Hove. Thank you. Like,
You supposed to be, though.
Right, but what? So why are we putting the responsibility on the man?
No, there's no responsibility. I'm just.
But you know what? People have reached out to Kanye, and what does he do?
Let me just say, I'm asking.
The bitch that he is, he screenshots the conversations and puts it on
You know
Twitter
why?
for everybody
You know
to
why?
see.
Because you're trying to do the same thing that he fucking told you that you couldn't do years ago,
If
and
this
that's
was a
tell
private-
him something.
But this is a private conversation.
Well,
Why
let
are
me-
you putting it out for the world to see?
Period. The man told you, Why
Why are you
can't
putting
tell
it
me
out
nothing.
there? Why
So-
are you putting it out there for the world to see? John was actually
He
coming out
wants
him.
this. This is.
Let me go backwards. Let me go
So
backwards.
why would Hov reach out to him
No,
now?
let me go
Why
back-
would
I
I
want
reach
Hov
out?
to reach out.
No,
Y'all
listen,
saying that.
Why
Let me
would
come back.
anybody want
Go
him
ahead.
to?
Let me come back and say, Hove, you don't
Kanye,
have
you
to.
ain't changed, bro.
I'm asking you
ain't
because
changed.
you're my favorite artist, and I know the person that, to me, that Jay-Z is. I'm asking you to reach out to him for the culture because the culture needs Kanye. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy came after 808s and Heartbreak. Yeezus came after. The Life of Pablo
Trash.
came after.
We're really
Trash.
gonna
Stop.
say these
No,
things are
no, I'm
masterpieces.
doing it. I'm doing it. You don't have to agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, you like certain types of music I don't care for.
What I'm saying.
These are masterpieces to me.
You know why?
And-
Well, wait, you
and-
like
He did a great
Yeezus
job
in The
at
Life of
selling
Pablo?
the thought
I think
process and the
I don't think
idea.
Yeezy has done anything wrong yet. Yeezus, it took me a while to get to understand it, and once I understood it, I said,
See,
"Oh
I
my
still
fucking
don't
god!"
Shit like
I
that.
don't
It's shit
understand.
like that. It's shit like that I was talking about early in the podcast.
Wait, this
Wait,
is
listen.
hold up.
Understand it?
This
And when
is
I
a
did-
Kanye fan to another
Okay,
Kanye
but
fan.
Twan,
We're just having
but
a
Twan,
conversation.
Twan, what
We're
you
trying
got-
to have a
Twan,
sidebar
hang on.
right now.
What's the get?
When you look at the Sistine Chapel, right? Do you look at it and be like, "Oh, this is amazing fucking art"? I don't. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." A nigga. I mean, the fact that a nigga hung upside down and did that shit, that's impressive. But outside of that, I also don't get the thrill of Basquiat or any other Picasso painting. I don't see it. It's not for me. Jesus, when I heard it, I was like, "Yo, this is odd," because it wasn't like what Kanye had done before.
Yep.
Once I put my music ear on, not a fan ear, but once I put I'm an artist ear, I was like, this shit is fucking mind-blowingly awesome.
I'm an artist here? What are we talking about? Kanye
Hey,
has
okay.
always presented his
How about
music
this?
in the form of artistry.
But how about this, Twan? Do you remember when I first started making beats? Niggas was like, "Yo, your beats is odd, they sound weird," okay?
But
I
you
was
didn't sell it like my man.
hang on. I was on the techno wave before that shit blew up with my song "Take It Off." I was on the techno wave before every other rapper was. I was on the rock wave before every other rapper was, except for the guys from Hollis, okay? Hollis Queens, okay? All that to say, I've always been a little eccentric, eclectic,
Okay.
a little different.
All right.
Electric.
And I get a little jealous sometimes when niggas be doing shit that I had already done, and niggas was like, "That shit ain't gonna work," and I'm like, niggas just going platinum off of some shit niggas told me wouldn't work.
I know. I agree.
Fuck y'all niggas.
Listen, I understand it. All I'm saying
That
is,
shit is a masterpiece.
All I'm saying is
So
this.
we need Ye for the culture to come back, be a free thinker. I just need you to,
Be a smarter free thinker.
yeah, just be careful. Be careful with what you say
You
because
can't-
understand
you
that.
can't tell him to do that.
I'm asking. I'm
But
not telling you to do
can.
shit. Yay, please.
You can't want
for the culture.
Okay, this is the thing.
To be a free
I love
thinker,
you. I want
everybody to
need
understand
be,
something.
To be a free thinker, you need to be
Hurry
a
up, let's wrap,
free
let's wrap.
reader.
Wrap.
You say,
He
"Hot
needs to
Dad,
do his
you don't have the
research and
answers
read.
that you thought you did."
Hey, fuck you,
He
bro.
said, "I got it." He said, "I got it." On the Listen,
That's
this
these
is
guys
a
over
prime
here.
example of
Okay.
what I'm talking about. You can't ask him to tone it down. That's what got us. That's what got us here.
Let me get 30 seconds to close
Go ahead.
out. This is my last 30 seconds of the show.
Close it.
I love you guys very much. Thank you for watching Maybe the Best Podcast, episode 13, season 2.
13.
What I want to say, part of my mission, and it's been my mission for the past couple weeks, when I see a person of color that looks like me, I say hello. I acknowledge every person that looks like me because I want you to know that I see you and you're important to me. We have to stick together. We have to love each other and be there for one another. and ask a fucking question, a real question, not a rhetorical question. Hey, man, how you doing? No. You know, sit down and talk to people. Slow down and fucking talk to people. You ain't in a rush. You're gonna die. Like, you're going to die. What the fuck are you in a rush for? Let's have a conversation,
That's the
man.
only guarantee in life.
Maybe the best podcast.
When I was young, I always wanted to be famous. I'd fuck 200,000 bitches on a sleigh bed. Not all at once, but if I could, I would, I swear, yeah. Just like the fuck a lot, big pun, I'm not a player. Okay, now I've been on some other shit with my bad bitch thicker than Southern grits. We fucking and we get to the money, fuck all that sucker shit. I've been on a hell of a run, I need a sponsorship. This bitch is pussy out of this world, straight from a mothership. I've been on my ET and being broke is foreign in my 30s. There's nothing you can say today that hurt me. Just sit back and observe me, pop the top off this bottle, Vevin bacon for breakfast and getting top from a model. Bitch, I'm cool. Bitch, I'm bad. And if I die tomorrow, them bitch niggas would be glad. So I plan to be right back. It's only right they hate it. And if I had to fuck a give, I wouldn't. I can't fake it. So bitch niggas gotta take
All I
it.
know is getting to and bagging up that moolah. And if they try to stop it, press that Glock to their medulla. These niggas never measure up when fucking with the ruler. Cause they be taking days off pussy niggas, Ferris Bueller.
I don't worry about no one but me, myself, and I. Alien Carter gon' be good as long as daddy's still alive. But just in case I die today, I promise you'll be fine. Cause my life insurance got 2 commas and he first in line. Why the fuck you think I'm working so hard? My God, my current mission is low emissions in my garage. A Tesla Model S, 200 on the dash. And all you hear is pew. Soon as I press the gas, I'm back.